What's going on, everybody? This is Renegade number one, aka the feminist killer, hashtag Logitorian. Don't subscribe to mainstream ideas. Leave the mainstream behind. Unsubscribe from any type of social media. Unsubscribe from any type of, circle, friends that you may, be around. And just really give yourself a turnaround in your life. It's never too late to change. It's never too late to drop your friends. The only time it's too late is when you're about to die. So for those who want to become monk, for those who want to master the black pill, who are sick of being around the same type of people, who are sick of being in the same type of situations, I would say you have to change your environment. Part of changing your environment is changing your friends. If you don't change your friends, you're going to continue to have the same issues. If you don't change your environment, you're going to have the same issues. If you don't change the type of, stuff you take in on a daily basis, you're going to have the same issues. You have to change your mentality. You have to change, you have to become a different version of yourself. You have to become something that you never thought you can become. And that takes a lot of introspection. You got to look at yourself. I've actually had brothers who I have spoke with, and they were quite honest with themselves. They have to look at themselves in the mirror and fix the problems. My thing is, some of you may get offended by the things I say, but if the shoe fits, wear it. And that's what I was telling the brother. If the shoe fits, wear it. Don't get mad at me for pointing out things that you should improve or bad habits that you should drop. I'm only saying it because to better your life, to give you advice. If you don't want to hear the truth, then continue living in the world of denial. Continue finger pointing. To me, it's a shame that you still have people who are grown men who still think like that. But for those who want to change, for those who want to look within themselves and actually take accountability, you would agree with what I'm saying. So the first thing I would say is, obviously, like I said, stay out of mainstream society. Mainstream society doesn't bring you any benefit. Mainstream society teaches you to be a conformist. It teaches you not to think for yourself. It teaches you not to have your own identity. And I think being black pilled and being the ascendant, you have your own identity. You know how to think for yourself. And that's all I want you guys to do is, start thinking for yourselves. Don't be what society wants you to be. Don't be what, a female wants you to be. Don't be what your so-called male friends want you to be, because they are not you. They can't do what you can do. Why not live life being unique? And so my thing is, be closed-minded. The more black pill I became, I realized I had to become closed-minded. I couldn't be open-minded. And I know society puts a negative stigma on people who are closed-minded. Oh, you need to get out more. Oh, you were raised under a rock. You're closed-minded, blah, 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 blah. But being open-minded as a black pillar is actually a bad thing, because you're opening yourself up to influence. You're opening yourself up to toxic people. You're letting anybody inside your circle. And like I was telling a brother, earlier today, you open yourself up to distractions. You can't have that go with the flow, be down with anything type of mentality, because you have to have standards. You have an identity. You have to preserve your energy. And people who don't have an identity, people who are open-minded, they are bound to be manipulated. They're bound to be influenced by bad people, bound to be bound to take on toxic energy. And the old cliche is, if you don't stand for anything, you fall for anything. People who stand for nothing fall for anything. And that's the thing, you don't want to fall for anything. You want to stand for something, represent something, have standards. So I would say when you're closed-minded, you close yourself off from distractions. You close yourself off from toxic energy. You close yourself off from negative influence. And that's really what I learned is, all these people, a lot of people don't have your best interests. They don't. Nobody does. There's only the few that will understand this type of information. Everybody won't get it. Don't count on people to understand where you're coming from. Expect people to talk shit about you. Expect people to be rude to you. Expect people to stab you in the back. Expect people to cheat on you. Whatever the case may be, because that's the reality of life. For those who continue to be optimistic, for those who continue to be in denial of reality, that's fine. If you want to live life in this fictional view, in this fictional lens, that's fine. But for us, we're gonna keep our eyes wide the fuck open. Being the monk, like I've said numerous times, is the more practical way to go. If you know a group of creatures, which are the female, if you know these creatures are fucked up, why continue to partake in them? Why? At that particular point, you're just causing harm to yourself. And the thing is, if you don't associate with mainstream ideas, blue pill ideals, in other words, you're not gonna be desired. No one's gonna want to be around you. So you just might as well, as a person who doesn't like mainstream ideas, or a person who doesn't gravitate towards things that are popular, I just condition myself to be alone. And that's what you guys have to do. Condition yourself to be alone, and that way you can work. And when you're alone, you have the time to work on yourself. Once you take this lifestyle, you are going to die this way. That's what I want all y'all to understand. When you take this black pill, when you take that monk lifestyle, you have every intentions of dying this way. So if you're in your 20s, if you're willing to spend 60 years like this, then you have sacrificed your life and you have put it all on the line. You understand that human nature does not change. You understand female psychology. And that's the thing, I'm not gonna say a lot of guys. You know what I am gonna say, a lot of guys. A lot of guys make the mistake of judging women from an individual perspective. Women are not individuals. Women are group thinkers. You gotta judge them as collective. They're like, if you see one, you have seen them all. If you've seen 5, you've seen them all. You don't have to spend your time looking through the whole female population to find out if they're all fucked up or not. Are all females the same? Of course. Race does not matter. Language does not matter. If you are in Hong Kong, if you are in Atlanta, if you're in LA, if you're in Rio de Janeiro, it does not matter. The women are going to behave the same. Don't expect no more, don't expect no less. And that's it, man. That's all it is to it. My thing is, if you want to keep your mental health, if you want to keep your energy from being drained, stay away from society. Isolate yourself from this bullshit. It serves you no purpose. Don't be a slave in society. Be free. While everybody else is too busy chasing their desires, you make peace with what you have, whether you have materials or whether you don't have materials. And that's all it is, man. If you really want to make change, you gotta do things that you're not comfortable with. You gotta become a different version of who you are now. Some of you may struggle, some of you may fall, but you gotta decide, do you want to remain, on the ground, or do you want to get back up? But that's the thing about society, man. It's just, I've come to terms that anything that's popular, anything that most people sought after, I don't want, because I already know it's bullshit. I already know it's pointless. I already know that there's not no real value in it. So do the opposite of what society does. If most people chase something, don't chase it. Don't desire it. It's all a trap. This world is sick. This world needs healing. But unfortunately, this world will never heal because we're too busy valuing the wrong things. You know, every fucking day, every time I get up in the morning, you know, I got a battle to fight. Every fucking day when you guys get up in the morning, you got a battle to fight. You got to be relentless. You got to be mentally tough. You cannot be mentally weak. You cannot give in to your desires. You cannot quit on yourself. You have to be adamant about taking the black pill. You got to be adamant about being a monk. The only person you have at the end of the day is yourself. Everybody else is going to fucking disappoint you. You can't count on nobody. You can't count on family. You can't count on so-called friends. You can't count on acquaintances. Anybody. This world is fake. This world is fucked up. This world is twisted. You know, but this is human nature. Nature always wins. Nature is undefeated. Period. That's the end of it. You know, for me, I try to give the raw truth so you can take time to take it in. You know, go ahead and cry now. Get your last cry out the way. Get all that anger out of you. But after that, you have to sober up. You got to build yourself up. You got to pick yourself up from the bootstraps, and you gotta make something out of yourself. You gotta keep marching. But no one's gonna make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. That's your responsibility. You're responsible for how life turns out. Nobody else. Don't count on nobody else neither. But, you know, this is a video that I really wanted to make because a lot of brothers are still down in the dumps. A lot of brothers are still depending on other people to bring them happiness. A lot of brothers are still chasing those mainstream ideas, thinking that if they fit in, they're going to be more accepted and all their pain and suffering is going to go away. You know, and that's the thing, man. That's one thing I want you guys to take from this video, if anything, is stop looking for validation and stop looking for acceptance. You don't need any of that. You should be validating yourself. Period. You should be validating yourself. You know, regardless of what people say about you, you still need to stay on your purpose. You know, happiness doesn't come from tangible goods. That's one thing I need you guys to instill in your mind. Happiness does not come from tangible goods. You know, while everybody else is struggling to accept living without things, you are numb. You have this stoic mindset where nothing can affect you. If you live with it, you're fine. If you live without it, you're fine. And that's it, man. Every day, go take a walk. Go sit out in nature and meditate. Stay in the house, meditate. But just stay away from these spiritual vampires. Stay away from these parasites because they just make you more fucked up. Don't bother socializing with people because when you socialize with people, all they do is take energy and just give you bullshit advice. All they do is take up time and just waste energy. That's all people do half the time. Stop having small talk with people. It's pointless. It's either people trying to get money from you, it's either people trying to get attention from you, or it's people trying to get time out of you. One of those three things. You know, human beings are selfish to one another. We don't give a damn about one another. And it's not about race. It's just in general, as human beings, we don't care. We care about our own survival. Well, that's the black pill truth, man. But anyway, this is Renegade #1. Like the video, share, subscribe, peace.